As the creator of the Living in Burleson, Texas channel, I'm definitely no stranger to moving. Throughout my 22 years in the Marine Corps, I moved probably about 6 or 7 times. And moving from one state to another blindly definitely is not fun. Because of all of those moves that I had to do blindly, I created this channel for you to help you relieve some of that anxiety that comes with moving across to a different state. Now, we're currently seeing a huge influx of people actually moving into the Burleson, Texas area. You know, they may move to the suburbs around Burleson, Texas, and why is that? It could be because of higher rated schools, or maybe a slower pace of life, or maybe they're looking for a new build in a different area. But the question is, what suburb would you want to live in? It can definitely get a bit overwhelming when you're moving from out of state, especially when you're moving from somewhere like California, New York, North Carolina, Florida, or even like Missouri, where I'm actually from, or any other state that's out there. So we're actually seeing a huge influx of people moving into Burleson, Texas. And again, that's the whole point of this channel and why I created it for you, is to help remove some of that anxiety that comes with moving from another state. Now, some of you might be relocating because of a job and you want to be within close proximity of that job. And by the way, Arlington is actually a great place because it's right in the center of everything. Now, if you're working in and around the Arlington area, we have quite a few different options. And that's why I want to reduce some of that confusion that comes with moving and possibly help you narrow down a few things. Because I'm going to break down the top 5 suburbs in the Arlington, Texas area. Hopefully I'll be able to give you some insight as to why these areas are so popular. And ultimately, it's going to be your decision to decide where it is that you actually want to move. And usually, based on our videos, people are usually able to narrow it down to 1 or 2 suburbs. So that way, whenever you actually come into town or you're making that decision, you don't have to drive all over Dallas-Fort Worth, because that could take several days in itself. That's exactly why you're going to want to stay around, because this is going to be an extensive overview of the top 5 suburbs in Arlington, Texas. I'm excited to walk you through Arlington, Texas. Let's start off and jump right into the map. By the way, my name is Mike Ritrovato with the Living in Burleson, Texas team. And if you're planning on making a move to the Burleson, Texas area, feel free to reach out to me and I'd be happy to help you make a smooth transition to the Burleson, Texas area. And if this is your first time on the channel and you want to know everything there is to know about living in Burleson, Texas and the surrounding suburbs, then subscribe below and hit that bell for notifications so you can be the first one to know about the current market in the Burleson, Texas area. All right, just to give you a little context before we get started, right down here we've got Burleson, Texas, and the suburbs that we're going to be covering today is Grand Prairie, Mansfield, Kennedale, and right here within Arlington we have Dalworthington Gardens. And then within Dalworthington Gardens on the north side, we've got Pantego. So these are the 5 suburbs that we're seeing a huge influx of people moving into, and we're gonna go into a deep overview of each suburb. All right, so let's jump right into the first one, Mansfield. So what I have highlighted right here is Tarrant County, right here. Big square. This is where the majority of what we're going to be talking about today is Tarrant County. We also have Dallas County off here to the right, Dallas County, and then Tarrant County is right here. That's where the majority of what we're going to be talking about is Tarrant County. Yes, that I can't really draw that good on this, but that's okay. So the majority of this is going to be in Tarrant County. We do have Dallas County here, And then Johnson County down here at the bottom. Really the only city that has that kind of covers 3 different counties is going to be Mansfield down here. This first one that we're talking about, it's actually in Johnson County, and then it splits. So we got Johnson County down here, and then Ellis County over here. So Mansfield is actually split and covers 3 different counties. So let's go ahead and jump right into Mansfield. And if I just click right in to Mansfield, we're going to zoom into Mansfield. And the main roads that go through Mansfield is going to be the 287 right here, and then the 360 right here. And then you've also got Business 287, and I'll tell you why that's important here in a second. So if you're going to be living in Mansfield and commuting up to Arlington, which is up north right here, it might be a little bit easier to take the 360 toll road. That might be a con about living here in Mansfield, is that, to get up to Arlington, if that's where you're going to be working, you may very well want to get a toll tag just to make it a little bit easier commuting up to the Arlington area. All right, so if we zoom in a little bit closer here in Mansfield, I'll show you we've got the 287 that runs right here, and then the 360, that toll road that runs right there. And then you've got the Business 287 that runs right there. Reason why I was saying that Business 287, we'll go over that a little bit later. So West Broad Street and Business 287, right where these two meet, you've got about a 4-block area right here. Granted, this isn't to scale. But you've got about a 4-block area that's actually a historic area in downtown Mansfield. So that property that you're going to be buying within that historic area, just remember that typically historic areas, you're not going to be able to do much upgrading, and a lot of upgrades that you're doing has to be approved by the city because they want to keep it that historic area. Now, just a couple of things here, couple of things to do in Mansfield. You've got a couple of parks here and there. You got quite a few movie theaters. You got just about everything you need to do here in Mansfield. You really wouldn't have to leave Mansfield here. You can get everything you need done. You got the Home Depot, the movie theater, pretty much everything you are wanting to get done. There's a couple of little nature parks. If you're into outdoor stuff, just about everywhere in Texas here, there are churches. So if, religion is your thing, there are multiple different churches to go to. There's, a lot of things to do in this small town of Burleson. And, you still get the ability to commute really easy up north to Arlington if that's where you're going to be working. And pricing of homes, we're just going to jump right over and check out pricing to see what there is to offer here in Mansfield. All right, so if we jump over here and we check out some pricing, just to see what, kind of affordability is, you can get into something for $205,000. That's actually not too bad. Let's check that one out. May very well need some fixing up. Oh, so it only has one photo. So this is probably a fixer-upper. Let's check out another one. All right, so we got 569, 265. Let's check this one out. So it definitely looks good from the front. Looks pretty turnkey. This is definitely move-in ready. So you could get something for $265 that is move-in ready. Of course, this already sold, but this was, in the last 90 days. So that kind of shows us that, prices, you could probably still get something for that price. Not too bad. So let's go back over here. You got something for $369, $485. Not too bad, $485. Let's check this one out. Got 2 floors. Looks like the garage is towards the back. This is, again, move-in ready. I would expect that for that price. So yeah, this is definitely a 465 home. So that's what you get for that price. Let's go back and check out the map. Or 485, sorry. That's what you get for 485. And then we go down here towards the Matlock Road. We've got 975, 1.29. So let's check this out. There's no photos available of that one. Let's check this one here out. This is 975. So let's see what 975 will get you. It's got a pool. It's right on a golf course. Not the greatest resolution of photos, but this is definitely a nice home. Got a movie theater, your own little outdoor living area. If you play golf, this is definitely, you're literally right on one of the greens. So this is definitely something you'll get your money's worth on this one. And check out a few more. So we got 560 over here. So you got a pretty good price range from 200,000 up to 975. You definitely got a good price range of homes that are affordable in the Mansfield area. Here's some of the stats and data on Mansfield, Texas. Mansfield has a population of 78,542. And the commute time to Arlington, if that's where you're gonna be working, is about 23 to 25 minutes, depending on traffic. And then if you travel a lot, the commute time to the Dallas-Fort Worth airport, again, depending on traffic, is gonna be about 25 to 35 minutes. The median home listing price was $484,000, and the median home sold price was $554,000. With a current months of inventory of homes are averaging 3.56, and the school ratings for Mansfield Independent School District, or ISD, from niche.com is an A. The independent school district, the Mansfield Independent School District, was ranked number 12 out of 896 schools for most diverse school district in Texas. It was ranked number 42 out of 807 schools for best school districts for athletes in Texas. You'll find that a lot for the schools here in Texas, that the ranking is usually pretty high for athletes here in Texas. And it was ranked number 68 out of 883 schools for best school districts in Texas. It has 8 high schools, 14 middle schools, and 24 elementary schools. Mansfield High School has an A on niche.com, and it's ranked 167 out of 1,876 schools, and it's got 2,619 students. And then Mansfield Lake Ridge High School also has an A on niche.com, and it is ranked 133 out of 1,876 schools, and it has 2,653 students. All right, let's jump right over to our next one, Grand Prairie. So you can see Grand Prairie right here is off to the east of Arlington. And one of the cons, I guess you could say, of Grand Prairie is there are a lot of freeways. So you've got the 30 going through Grand Prairie, you've got the 20, so 2 big interstates going right through Grand Prairie. And then you also have the President George Bush Turnpike, which is actually a toll road for going north and south. And then of course you've got these other freeways going east and west. So you do have a lot of freeways going through Grand Prairie, which could very well, affect the value of homes within, a good vicinity of those freeways. just because of the noise around the freeways. So it could very well affect the value of homes in and around those areas. And then you may also get some highway noise from your home. A lot of the highways are kind of have barriers between the highway and the actual home, but you are still going to have a little bit of noise from those freeways. So just wanted to throw that out there. So if we zoom in here to Grand Prairie, there is quite a bit of lake activity. You've got Joe Pool Lake down here at the bottom. It's definitely a good place if you're into boating. You know, you've got a whole lake down here, and then you've also got Mountain Creek Lake up here as well. You know, and there's also different parks you can go to. Lone Star Park up here. You know, so you got Lone Star Park. You've got, of course, a couple of parks around Joe Pool Lake to go to as well. So there's definitely a lot to do. You've got the Grand Prairie Premium Outlets, definitely a good shopping plaza to go to. So there's definitely a lot to do here in Grand Prairie, and you're super close right here to Arlington if this is where you're working. You've got the AT&T Stadium over here, so you're definitely close to Arlington if that's where you're actually going to be working. Now, if we jump over here to the map to see what has actually sold in the last 90 days to kind of check a little bit of affordability, you've got 160 here. So you could get into something for 160,000. Let's check this out. That's most likely a fixer-up. I mean, depending on what you like, it's a little small, but it's definitely livable. Looks like it's got, you know, some maintenance that needs to be done. Definitely some leaking in the roof there. You can see the little brown spot on the roof. Looks like this might have been a hoarder house or something. So, but I mean, for 190,000, depending on what you want, you could get in 160 is what it sold for. 105 here. So these may very well be the ones that I was telling you about where just a little close to the highway. Now this one is like a complete tear down. So yeah, this one was a complete remodel, fix and flip. So maybe an investor special. You got 335 up here, 103, 385. You got a 760 in there. So let's check out a 450. See what that'll get you. So 450, definitely going to be move-in ready. Nice and clean. Got your little office up front with a little living room. Nice fireplace with a mantle. This is definitely a nice property. Got an open kitchen. And of course, what would Texas be without a gun safe in the bedroom? Yeah, this is definitely a nice property. Let's see what else we got out there. Grand Prairie. We got 225, 305, 208, 265. So this is all very affordable. You know, we got 1.25. Let's see what that one is. Probably got some acres with it. Yeah, this has got 9.4 acres. So this is kind of a hidden gem within Grand Prairie. So yeah, this is definitely, you got, you know, if you're luxury living, you can definitely get it in Grand Prairie still. Looks like some stuff up a Scarface. You got your own little backyard oasis and 9 acres to do whatever you want with. So yeah, you've got lake living, a little bit of everything here in Grand Prairie. Now, here are some stats and data for Grand Prairie. Grand Prairie has a population of 202,134. The commute time to Arlington is about 15 minutes depending on traffic. And then also, if you're going to be traveling a lot, the commute time to the Dallas-Fort Worth airport is about 15 minutes. The median home listing price was $329,000, and then the median home sold price was $368,000. The current months of inventory of homes is averaging about 3 months. The school ratings for the Grand Prairie Independent School District is a B according to niche.com, and that independent school district was ranked 298 out of 896 schools for most diverse school district in Texas. And it was ranked number 411 out of 883 schools for best school districts in Texas. It has 8 high schools, 14 middle schools, and 24 elementary schools. Grand Prairie High School has a C+ on niche.com, and it has 3,001 students. Grand Prairie Fine Arts Academy has an A on niche.com, and it was ranked 121 out of 1,876 schools, and it has 838 students.